It's going down in the podcast industry. It's going down in the podcast world, guys. It's absolutely freaking mad right now. So, welcome back, guys, beautiful people, to another episode of Off Topic with your boy Joey FC. Lean back, guys. Get your mug out. Dip in your chocolates. Get the popcorn out. Let's get right into the mess. Because the hip-hop media streets are scorched hot right now. It's baking. It's oven hot right now. Now, if you've been living under a rock, DJ Akademiks tried to drop a nuclear bomb on Charlemagne the God. He went on his live stream screaming, bringing out Charlemagne's past activities about things to do with grape and stuff like that. So he's been doing the most now. He's been doing the most for some time. He's got other clippers that he's been using to try to get back at Charlemagne. I don't know where the beef originated from. All I know is they've got beef. Yeah, I don't know where the beef comes from. They just got beef. You know what I mean? They literally just have beef, Yeah. So something he didn't see coming was Charlemagne didn't come out swinging and chatting the most. Charlemagne didn't go on the internet and cry. Well, he just did in his own way. But no. He didn't go on the internet and cry. He didn't throw a temper tantrum. No, he just played level chess. While Academics was playing checkers, Charlemagne was playing chess. So for those of you who don't know, Charlemagne went and hired private investigators, exposed the back-end legal and financial ties behind the smear campaign against him, and handed AK a massive legal smear campaign. So right now, AK seems to be like shivering. He doesn't know what's happening because Charlemagne has exposed some crypto-related fraudulent activities between him, some other names, and something to do with poly markets. That's literally what this
Brilliant
video
Idiots
right here
podcast back for another week of
was
Brilliant
talking about.
Idiots. Kyle
Literally what
Walker.
this video was talking about. So, but anyways, before we get into the nitty gritty, I want you to notice something, guys. Now, I might be reaching here, but let's try and read between the lines. Let's just play devil's advocate for a second, yeah? Pay attention to this intro.
It's still away filming a movie, but we got all of the usual suspects here, all of the usual idiots. Taylor Gang is here. Alex is here. Alex Media. Chris Moreau is here as well, the only brilliant one in the building. Do we have any prees?
No prees.
No prees. Okay, no prees. We are taping today at a studio that I didn't even know existed. This is another...
Now, guys, notice the introduction. This is the Brilliant Idiots. Now, notice who's missing. Let's put on our investigator hats on just for a quick part of this segment. Notice who is missing from this introduction. Look at the sitting arrangements over the Brilliant Idiots. Who are you not seeing on the couch? You see Charlemagne, you see Chris Moreau, and you see Alex Medio. Who is missing? Andrew Schulz. Am I pronouncing his name right? Andrew Schulz is missing. Now, the official story is that, he's out and about shooting some movie sets here and there. That's why he's missing. Pay attention. If Andrew Schulz is missing and he's busy shooting a movie, being on comedy tour, because he's got a hectic schedule, so he should not be in charge of his own flagrant show this period, should he? Now, this is 5 days ago. He should not have done this video. He better not be on the couch at the flagrant. He better not be on the couch at the flagrant because he's going to schedule.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant, and a new cheating scandal has rocked the chess world. You guys will learn all about it.
Is that Andrew we see? Now, this is 5 days ago. We can see Andrew. Let's see if he was on Brilliant Idiots, the show before this one that he just missed again. Let's see. So remember, guys, he's just missed the show. Yeah? He's just missed this show, the one here with the Jay-Z face, yeah? So let's see if he was on the previous one, which is this 9 days ago. Let's see if he was on the previous one 9 days ago.
Yep, Charlemagne the God, and Andrew Schultz is not here. Hezekiah Walker is filming a movie. Okay, so it's just myself and Alex Me.
He's filming a movie. Something's not quite added up, is it? Something's not quite added up here. Something doesn't make sense. Something stinks. Something stinks out here. And why is my man's face guilty? Like he knows something's up. Why's my man's face guilty? Interesting. Interesting observation. You know, right here at Off Topic GM, General Market, we see all the things other people do not see. Isn't it so, Andrew Schulz? Isn't it so, Charles Ahmed? So why is he missing? Let's forget the beef for a minute between DJ Academics and Charles Ahmed the God. Why is Andrew Schulz missing? It seems like he went missing ever since the re-allegations surfaced over the internet to do with Charlemagne. This timing is very interesting, isn't it? The minute this old tapes of allegation and toxic audio clips started getting aggressively recirculated all over the internet, yeah, Andrew Schulz just mysteriously goes missing. Back-to-back episode, Andrew is missing. But for some reason, on his main show, The Flagrant, he's still there. He wasn't too busy to sit on his own couch over The Flagrant. He's been doing Flagrant perfectly. It makes you wonder, is Andrew genuinely tied up with comedy dates, or is he quietly distancing his shiny mainstream comedy brand from all the toxic blasts that Charlemagne is getting right now? Andrew Schulz is like, nigga, I don't know you like that. Andrew Schulz is like to Charlemagne, my G, calm down. I don't know you like that. And one thing, if you know Andrew Schulz, you know, this dude talks the most. He likes to talk a lot of rubbish, but he doesn't know how to take it. He doesn't know how to back his boys. Andrew Schulz, I'm beginning to see a pattern here, Andrew. Andrew, I'm beginning to see a pattern here. You seem to be quick to protect yourself, insulate yourself, because you just had a similar issue with your boy that you started The Flagrant with, the Indian-looking dude. You just had issue with him because of what his girl was saying on and off, and boom, he's no longer on the show. You're too quick, Andrew. You're too quick, you know. You're too quick. For someone who talks a lot of ish, it's interesting you don't know how to take any ish. You've got no backbone. Now, I'm not condemning, obviously, what the allegation against Charlemagne. It's serious. It's serious, but we cannot start to come to a conclusion that the court hasn't come to. Because what if my man is innocent of all these allegations? And that's why there's a reason this innocent until proven guilty. We cannot start just presuming people are guilty as soon as an allegation hits them. That's wrong. That is wrong. And as soon as your guy, the Indian fella, as soon as his wife was out there chatting the most, you distance yourself from the dude, and now he's no longer on the show. As soon as there's a little bit heat on Charlemagne, you've distanced yourself again. Andrew Schulz, come on, man, come on. I'm trying to do an Andrew Schulz, you know. Let me sit how you sit. Cross my leg. Now, that's my impression of Andrew Schulz. He's always picking something there, you know. No, but on a real, I like Andrew Schulz. I'm just saying, brother, you need to back your guys. Unless you know something that we don't know about these allegations, you need to back your guy, because when you're not backing your guy, what it tells us from behind the scene is that guilty, guilty, guilty. And obviously we don't condone them things here. So if he's not been convicted of whatever the allegations are, you need to back your guy. You know, you cannot be going to a fight with your guy and as soon as they throw the first hits, you're legging it. Come on, man. This pattern is emerging. So we need to pay attention to this. So watching this also, another thing that comes to mind is, let me drag you somewhere, because we pay attention to body language. Body language doesn't lie. Someone's mouth, when it moves, their lips could be telling a lot of lies, but pay attention to the body language. Body language it will reveal everything you need to know. It will give you an insight of what's going
God
on.
know what he doing. God knows what the fuck he is doing. God bless.
I made a doctor's appointment in Manhattan tomorrow morning. I'm almost
You
considering. Yeah, I was like, do I even want to be in Manhattan tomorrow?
How hard?
Sorry, it's not this, it's the other one. So pay attention, guys. Brilliant Idiot. It seems to have a whole new studio. Is it because Andrew Schulz is missing? But anyways, pay attention to my man. Pay attention to Alex Media, guys. Alex Media. Yeah? So,
Chris?
I believe it's Win.
George Wynn, a.k.a. Grand Wizard. Well, first of all, it was 2 posts, right? It was 2 posts that Chig talked about. Where's the first one at? Yeah,
Pay
this first
attention
one.
to Alex Media here. Watch his.
It's a picture of George.
There.
Make sure to post this.
He's like, oh God, I don't want to be here. But that's what that said. It's like, oh God, like here this nigga goes again. I don't want to be here. That's what that body behavior tech tells us. Let me take that back again. Let me back it up again. Pay attention, guys. Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to that Academics TV post in a second.
Pay attention,
I want
guys.
to talk about this because
To
Chig's Move talked
Alex
about
Media.
how George the Win. How do you pronounce it, Chris?
I believe it's
Pay
Win.
attention to
George
Alex
Wynn,
Media's body
a.k.a.
language.
Grand Wizard. Well, first of all, it was 2 posts, right? It was 2 posts that Chig talked about. Where's the first one at? Yeah, this first one. It's a picture of George. Make sure to post this on the video. It's a picture of George. It says George, a.k.a. Grand Wizard Chattanooga, the man behind Academics TV, is photographed in Australia.
Now, also somewhere along the video, yeah. Alex goes on to keep saying things like it's not good for the, like, basically saying like you should drop it. Alex behavior gives us an insight into why Andrew Schulz is not on the show. You can take that to the freaking bank. Yeah, I said it here on Off Topic. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, I said it here on Off Topic. Alex's behavior tells us that Andrew Schulz is not comfortable around this ish. Because the timing is suspicious. He's somehow busy, but he's not too busy for his own personal show. This is just him distancing himself. Think about it. Andrew has a massive mainstream crossover audience. He does stadium tours, does a Hollywood adjacent comedy, you know. His name to be trending alongside them type of allegations and that problematic audio. He's just letting the storm pass, letting Charlemagne handle his legal business behind the scenes before he hops back on the couch. That's all it is. The streets are talking. Rubies, and the math isn't mathing, or the math isn't mathing. I don't know. The math isn't mathing. That's the correct one. Now, time would tell us if there's actual now beef between the two, between Charlemagne and Andrew. Because, goddamn, Andrew's not on the show. It tells you all that needs to be said. You know. Now, if you go on to what has been happening between DJ Academics and basically, if you go on to what's been happening between DJ Academics and Andrew Charlemagne, yeah? This is what I think. Let me play this clip. This kind of sums it all up. This kind of sums it all up. The beef between DJ Academics and Thingy, you know? This sums it all up. So just pay attention to this quickly, guys.
I heard the JBTV community fans on Mark's ad.
Let's take it back.
The fans are on me for not talking about it. And yo, listen, I don't care about it a lot of the shit that y'all care about. In the group chat, Mark tried to send me whatever Oskino had to say.
Yeah, we saw that.
Nigga, the Knicks just won the championship. Oskino, I don't listen to what you got to say on a regular Wednesday. I damn sure ain't about to do it on a Knicks championship run. Next week, we'll get into some of that. Who else? Somebody else been talking shit.
Shout
But
out to
anyway, I
Oskino.
called. Yeah, shout out to Oskino. But anyway, I called Ack up and I said, all right, how real is you versus Charlemagne? Is it really happening now? I've seen you go online and say, if you call me telling me some shit and you don't tell me who it come from, I assume that you down with it. I've seen him going on his podcast talking about it. Where does this stand? And Ack said to me the same thing that I told the JBTV fan. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I ain't got no beef with Charlemagne. I have zero beef with Charlemagne. What's going on is this dude, whoever George is, the Academics TV page for Academics, that is his community. That's not just one person. That is his world of Clippers. And it just
Ack
happens
is
to have a head
backtracking right
Clipper
now.
who runs his account, according to Ack. That has been like a fan-run page for quite some time. And that page, the George dude specifically, has something going on with Charlemagne, to whereas George thinks that Charlemagne is sicking private investigators on him and trying to dig into his life. He's saying he's walking out of the house and seeing strange people, and he puts that on Charlemagne. And Charlemagne is saying this dude is and continues to post horrible things about me, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this because who is this faceless person that's from Australia that's named George that got
And obviously, this dude is not faceless. DJ Academics know who this person is. This is one of his clippers. Yes, clippers could be faceless, but this is one of his guys. He cannot turn around. Why is one of your guys who is not known having beef with Charlemagne? No, this is one of the people that, or this is just one of the faces you're using to attack Charlemagne, you know? And I think DJ Academics is moving conny here, you know? DJ Academics is moving mad here because how is someone going to calls you up and says to you, listen, I'm giving you a heads up. So people are trying to get you, you know? I don't really know them, but this is the information I've got. And then you turn around and try to do him over for literally telling you what's about to go down. Now, that's a coward's move, you know? So DJ Academics, no. On this one, you're getting a minus. You're getting a minus, bruv. On this one, you're getting a negative. How's someone going to call you up, ring you up and tell you, listen, brother, yeah? I'm not sure where it's come from, yeah? But word on the street is, so is going down against you. That's word on the street. Word on the street, people don't know where it's come from. And then you turn around and put my man on smoke. And then obviously now my man's got to defend himself. So my man's defending him, he's defending himself and put you back on blast. He puts the heat back on you. And you fold. You couldn't take the heat. You literally folded. You couldn't take the heat. And now you're back chatting, you're backtracking, talking about it's your clipper. Now you're a coward, brother. DJ Academics. On this one, I've got to tell you, you're chatting absolute air, bruv. On this, you're chatting absolute shit. Because most of the time, you're on point with stuff, you know. But on this one, you going for a fight you can't even win. Then it turns out that the people you're working with, you're all fraudulent with Polymarket. You know, that's what Charlemagne got here. It turns out that the people you're working with are all fraudulent people, you know? So now you're on smoke.
AK.
Now you could be done up. So now you're trying to, but before that, you were going fire for fire, DJ Academics. You were going fire for fire. You even got your boy DJ Trap Ross talking absolute rubbish. No new information. Every single information you guys cooked. Past information, brother. Past news. Old news. Everybody don't know about that already. Where's the new evidence? You're like, oh yeah, Charlemagne is cooked after this. Charlemagne is cooked after. Cooked after what? Where's the new shit? Where's the new stuff? These are all old information. You know? These are all old information. Where is the new stuff? You know? So Academics, your entire goal was to use the old rape allegation and audio clips to get Charlemagne cancelled or removed from the massive mainstream platforms like iHeartRadio and The Breakfast Club. Not only did that completely fail, but Charlemagne effectively neutralized the attack by showing the world exactly how the narrative was being manufactured by Academics' own camp. Charlemagne walked away with his reputation intact, his business secure, and a clear victory. Now you're left holding the bag. DJ Academics, now you're left holding the bag. Because now Charlemagne is going attack for attack. You started this attack first. You can't be throwing strong allegations like rape. You know what the situation is. You can't be throwing strong allegations like that. Now Charlemagne is just undone you. Now if the feds are watching, they're like, this case is done and solved. Thanks, Charlemagne. They just put the cuffs on you. Quick thing. You're out of here, bruv. You know? Now you're toning it down, DJ Academics. Because on your last live, it seemed like you were visibly stressed and essentially literally admitting that things had gone too far. And you're trying to de-escalate the situation. But it's too late for de-escalation. The video is out. Watching you go from a loud aggressor to backpedaling because corporate legal consequences has got involved. That's why the internet has declared a blowout for you. You know? Absolute mad thing, you know? absolute mad thing. You were blowing all smoke, blowing hot. Just because you have a bunch of clippers and people like Trap Ross does not mean you could just throw away any allegation and just, and say someone's done out here. You ain't got that kind of power to cancel people. The only person you can cancel is yourself. And it seems like you're canceling yourself because basically I used to pay attention to what you have to say, DJ Academics, but after seeing how the whole situation unfolded and doing a bit of research myself, and when it comes to things to do with betting and poly market and crypto, I don't take that lightly because, I'm a day trader. I frown on the faces of people who are into this organized scheme to put people out of pocket. I frown upon their faces. I do not take it lightly. And rightfully so, a lot of people do not take that lightly. A bunch of scammers, in the Telegram chats, in the WhatsApp groups, pumping and dumping, selling a shiny object to the masses. That's why we've got things like consumers markets, because the masses are gullible. Sorry, that's why we've got things like Consumers Protection Acts. My bad. On bare things. For example, if you're to buy a car within 6 months, if it goes wrong, you're protected by consumers' rights. So when it comes to crypto, we should have things like this in place, because you people cannot go and be, meddling and creating fake marketing victories, making the public look like these are all victories, they're all winnings from the poly market when they're not. Pay attention to this. Listen to what my man said, when he goes.
AKA Grand with, well, first of all, it was 2 posts, right? It was 2 posts that Chig talked about. Where's the first one at? Yeah, this first one. It's a picture of George. Make sure to post this on the video. It's a picture of George. It says, George, a.k.a. Grand Wizard Chat Nigga, the man behind Academics TV, is photographed in Australia, dodging process servers. Multiple lawsuits loom, along with possible criminal charges tied to a multinational crackdown on crypto-fueled gambling and money laundering. Then there was another post, and the post said, George Wynn, a.k.a. Grand Wizard Chat Nigga, the man behind Academics TV, is photographed in Australia, being served one of multiple lawsuits he's facing, along with possible criminal charges tied to a multinational crackdown on crypto-fueled gambling and money laundering. Now, I saw Chicks Move talk about those 2 posts, and then I saw 2 articles that came out this week. One was from, who is this website? It's a guy named Dalton Jackson, senior systems and culture writer at Inverse Wire.
Okay.
And the headline is, pay no attention to the grand wizard behind the curtain. And there's a picture of Drake and Aiden Roth, and it says 5 lawsuits say the bets were rigged, the streams were bought, and even the chat losing its mind was a hire inside the machine that manufactures Drake. Now,
Drake?
This is the problem, Fake streams, fake bots manipulating people's algorithms.
These niggas, yeah, Drake. According to this article on Inverse, it says, according to a stack of class action lawsuits filed across 5 states this spring, almost none of what you just watched was real. And it's talking about these bets that happen on what website?
I think Stake Cash was one of the ones, Polymarket. If it's the same article I read, basically what it was insinuating or claiming, maybe not even insinuating, is they have celebrities, influencers.
Oh, it is Stake, yes.
Yeah, go live, right? And you watch them making bets in real time.
Yeah.
And then it looks like obviously they're hitting and they're like, I think the term.
You want me to read the article? I can read that part.
Oh, read it, yeah.
It says, picture the scene, because you've already seen it 100 times. Drake, gold dripping, leaning into Aiden Ross's webcam, a 6-figure number on a slot screen. The real spin, they land. The number doubles, then doubles again, and the chat detonates into a wall of fire emojis, and he's different. A millionaire wins $1 million more, live, while a few 100,000 kids watch and quietly do the math. If that's easy for him, maybe it's that easy for me. Now, here's the part that should make your stomach drop. According to a stack of class action lawsuits filed across 5 states this spring, almost none of what you just watched was real. Not the bet, not the win, not even the chat losing its mind. The whole thing, the single most successful gambling marketing engine of the decade, may have been an elaborate piece of theater put on by a betting company whose signature trick is that it doesn't actually bet. It says the screen you're sold on is stake.us, and stake.us is not a casino in the way you think. It's a sweepstakes platform.
Do you see how they get you, little ones? Pay attention. Fake emojis, fake comments, everything fake, just to make you buy into that trade. The world is mad.
A legal costume that lets a gambling company operate in states where real money online gambling is flatly illegal. The mechanism is a shell game of two fake currencies. There are gold coins, which you can buy in bundles, but which are worth nothing and can never be cashed out just for fun. And there's state cash, which are technically only ever given for free, a single state cash on a daily login bonus, and which can be redeemed for real money at $1 a piece. The legal magic word is no purchase necessary. You don't buy the gambling, you buy the worthless coins, and the valuable coins come free, in air quotes on the side, wink.
So this is my question.
It's a scam.
With this whole situation is, okay, let's say
it's
you
a
want to bet
scam.
with a
This is what they do.
casino on an NBA game, right?
Mm-hmm.
In theory, Vegas has set a line for that game and all these other sporting events based on what a panel of experts or observers have, we think the Knicks are, going to win by 3. And there's not a lot of variability, right? Like maybe, I don't really bet, but like between different casino sites, maybe a little fluctuation, but it's pretty solid based on what everyone's opinion is. So the example they're using in this article is what was Drake's album called? Iceman?
Iceman.
When's Iceman going to come out, right?
I'm listening.
What happened?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. So my thing is like, who's determining what the actual odds are, right? There's not a panel of, if you're betting an NBA game, you're like, well, historically this team has performed this well in this setting and this person's injured and this person's playing. And when they're on the road, I don't know what
Alex Media doesn't want to touch this, and I'm not sure why. I feel like some of them might be secretly friends with DJ Academics and they don't want to get involved. And that puts Charlamagne in a very weird situation. If Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne both have an understanding that Andrew Schulz should actually insulate himself because of the mass following he has and obviously the comedy tickets he sells and stuff like that, then it's understandable if both of them amicably decided that. But if Andrew Schulz just didn't show for one reason or the other, and it's just to do with this behind the scenes, that's mad. Charlamagne needs to find himself some new friends. That's mad. Because you can't be going to war. When you go into war, you need to know that your guys are ready to ride. You can't be going to war and you're unsure if your guys are going to pull out or if they're going to have your back. Nah, you can't be doing them things. It's best you go on your ones and know it's just you. Then you're not sure if your man there behind you are going to stab you behind the back. So I really feel for Charlamagne in this situation, and I have to commend him. I do not condone rape, but until he's been, and the evidence and everything has been, and they have, charged him in courts and convicted him, everything else is just smoke and mirrors right now. Until they've actually convicted him, everything else is smoke and mirrors right now. And his boys are not ready to ride for him, which makes me doubt, is he innocent of this? You see how it could look now to the public perception. So this is an interesting observation of what's going on around here.
Information to quantify a bet like that against.
Yes. And I want you to hold that thought, Chris.
Right.
They have a part in this article. It says how the trap is baited for kids specifically. It says this is the part we're being angry about because it isn't subtle. The audience for these streams skew young and male. Aiden Ross's core demographic is teenagers and early 20-somethings, and the machinery is tuned to that audience's exact psychology. It runs on parasocial trust. A kid doesn't believe a banner ad, but he believes Drake, and he believes the screamer he's watched for 1,000 hours. It runs on live stream immediacy. It's happening right now on camera. You can't fake that, which is precisely the instinct the staging exploits. It runs on giveaways, the screamer flinging free state cash into the chat to get a first taste in the door, and it runs through that sweepstake loophole that lets the whole thing skate past the age gates, and state bans a real sports book would slam into. Twitch banned gambling content from unlicensed sites back in 2022 and said the quiet part out loud in its reasoning. The influence on younger viewers. Stake has since been formally accused of targeting young users through exactly these influences. So the funnel is a rigged win.
I see it's all the time.
Performed by a trusted face, paid for by the house, broadcast on a channel the house owns, aimed at the demographic least equipped to spot the difference between a man gambling and a man acting like he's gambling. The kid copies the only part he's allowed to see with the only money in the equation that's actually real. His.
Facts. Fucking facts. I see it all the time. You see it all the time.
Now, can I bring you back around to George?
So yeah, DJ Academics is now fighting a different battle. You know, DJ Academics is fighting a different battle now. You know, he came in guns blazing. Pa, 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 pa. Oh yeah, Charlamagne is done after this. Basically, Charlamagne goes, nigga, I'm not done. I just came from The View. You can't cancel people with old stuff. You know what I mean? If you could do that, Trump would not be president today. You know, but my man is president. My man is president. We do not condone those kind of allegations. I want to be very strict about this. We do not condone those allegations. But until someone has been found guilty, you can't be distancing yourself from that. It's just like this shit that happened the other day at the World Cup when Ghana played, was it Ghana that played England? And one of the guys, obviously, has got allegations in it. That's in court. A lot of people believe he didn't do it, but the allegations is in court. You cannot now go and decide, oh, you're not going to, he shouldn't play. You know what I mean? He should be removed from the team because of the allegation. Because allegations are usually weaponized these days. People weaponize allegations. So until it should always remain innocent until proven otherwise. Innocent until proven guilty. Because if not, people weaponize allegations and they'll, you know, use it to drown you. They'll use it to rope you.
They mentioned George.
So I also have to say that this whole stuff with Polymarket and DJ Academics also still allegations at this moment. So we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's all still allegations, so we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Until this allegation materializes and morphs into a confirmation, we have to still give him the benefit of the doubt, okay?
George in this article. And now it's all starting to make sense. See, this is what I don't understand about you, George. You, George, when I gave academics some information that you had got cornered by investigators and you were, you know, telling investigators you get your marching orders from Mac and Drake, I ain't know nothing about none of this shit. My intel was completely off. They told me that it was him taking money from politicians or some shit like that. When you sent that message to whoever you sent that message to and you said, could you please not post my picture, you know, because Charlamagne's mentioning crypto and I don't want to get my house raided. I wondered why crypto had you so goddamn spooked. And now it makes all the sense in the world. It says right here, and the winnings paid for the applause. Here's where the loop closes on itself and gets genuinely strange. The lawsuits allege those rigged casino winnings weren't only for show, they were a laundering rail. Money allegedly moved through.
I just realized that the Flagrant show is probably also shot in the same studio as the Brilliant Idiots show. Like literally in the same building. Because pay attention to the beginning of this, which means if they're all being shot in the same, and
Yep,
for
Charlamagne the
some
God.
reason Charlamagne and Shows are not seeing eye to eye, that's mad. Madu, as we'll say in Nigeria.
We are the
It's
Brilliant
mad.
Idiots
Pay attention
podcast back
about
for
the
another
old
week of
studio
Brilliant
setup.
Idiotness. Hezekiah Walker is still away filming a movie, but we got all of the usual suspects here, all of the usual idiots. Taylor Gang is here. Alex is here. Alex Media. Chris Moreau is here as well, the only brilliant one in the building. Do we
Thank
have
you.
any prees?
No prees.
No prees. Okay, no prees. We are taping today at a studio that I didn't even know existed. This is another WTF Media studio. Weezy and Alex getting too much money, man. It don't make no sense.
We're not getting money.
Nah.
We pay very well.
Nah, I didn't even know that this studio existed. Okay? And I've been in this building before, but I taped in another studio over there one time with Ernie Leisure, right?
Yeah.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
So y'all got two on this floor?
Well, this one, that one.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I
they
didn't know
getting
that.
too much money.
Yeah.
They getting too. Does the IRS know about this?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to WTF
Come on.
Media.
So is that his studio then? That's mad, you know. I rate him. He's doing well. I rate him.
And we're recording because somebody stole all the cameras out of Brilliant Idiot studio.
Yeah.
Damn, how'd they get in?
Nah, it was shifty.
Huh?
It was shifty. We know the person.
I
who
know
got
he's
the-
shifty, whoever the fuck did it. Whoever the fuck did it is a shifty individual.
Nah.
Taylor, they can't hear you. What'd you say?
It shows trying to sabotage the Brilliant Idiots. Things are happening. It's mad. It's mad in this podcast space, you know. This is no more beef between West Coast and East Coast, like back in the day with, it's just them rappers. Now it's podcasters are beefing. podcasters are beefing. Podcasters are beefing, and they're going in hard, you know. So watch this space, guys. I don't think this is the end of the situation, but pay attention to Andrew Schulz. Why is he not on the Brilliant podcast? 2 shows in a row gone missing, but yet he managed to get Flagrant done. Pay attention. Does he know something we don't know? Is there a beef between him and Shyamalan? Shyamalan. How do you say his name? Charlemagne the God. CT, popularly known as CT. But yeah. So I think we're gonna call this an end, or should we keep it going, guys? What else is in the news? That's just one thing. What else do we have in the news, guys? What else should we discuss? Let's see. Someone said I should break down the charts. No, this is not the show for that at the moment. That is for the other show. We're not breaking down the charts at the moment, okay? We are not breaking down the charts yet. What should we talk about? Should we talk about Trump getting impeached? How many people here think as soon as the Democrats takes over the House in November, that's the end of Trump?
It's like we had a set period of time where we had some options before we...
How many people think as soon as the Democrats take over the House in November, that's the end of Trump, he's getting impeached? Do you still think that way? Show of hands. I think his inner circle is turning against him, you know? Let's see something.
Before we ran out of oil. It's just, that's really what it all comes back to, is the U.S. really underestimated Iran's ability to close the strait and sustain the closure of the strait basically indefinitely. And you have this period of time where Trump thought we could bomb them into submission. Then it was getting too costly even for us. Bombing them was too costly for us because of how we were burning through the stockpile of interceptors and the damage it was doing to our bases in the Gulf. It's just too many targets. Can't defend all of them. So then we transitioned to the strategy of the bluffing, the economic blockade. You know, we're just hoping there's some way we could trick these guys into a deal. And then, yeah, you run out of oil. That's it. You know, it's the end of the rope.
I know Trump is a very difficult person to predict sometimes, et cetera. But if there's someone that understands his thought process, because you've been spot on with a lot of your analysis, a lot of your predictions, you've been spot on. What do you think his strategy was? Like, let's go to February 27th. Or actually, we can even go back when Netanyahu came the 13th time to America.
Right.
And he sold Trump on a plan. What do you think the plan was? What was he trying to do? What was the strategy? What did he think was going to happen versus what actually happened?
Well, you know, you got to go back to really December, which is Netanyahu comes to Mar-a-Lago, I think December 27th.
For New Year's.
And he came there with one intention. It was widely reported at the time. He said, look, we got to hit Iran again. We got to hit the missiles. He said, because Iran is building 300 ballistic missiles per month. And what this is going to do is it's going to make it impossible for us to intervene. And if they build up their missile stockpile, then they will get to work on excavating the highly enriched uranium, the centrifuges. Then it's off to the races. So Netanyahu said, we have to go back in, mow the grass, or defeat them once and for all. Trump goes into Venezuela that first week in 2026, extradites Maduro. It's this masterful operation. No U.S. casualties. We kill 100 of their guys, scoop them up. He's feeling good. Then you have those protests in Iran where they say 70,000 protesters were killed. It's the most violent clashes ever. It's just the number just kept going up and up.
First it was 20, then 30,
yeah.
Then 40, then now they're saying, 50, 60, 70, yeah.
We've never seen that before, right? Never,
Yeah.
October 7th, other things, right? Like, so it's like, oh, to think of the 100,000 protesters that were killed. And what we later learned, by the way, is that those protesters in Iran, it wasn't really a spontaneous demonstration. Where were the protests occurring? It was on Western Iran, where it's all the Kurds. And anybody knows what's going on is that the Iraqi Kurdistan, headquartered in Erbil, has basically broken away from the central government in Baghdad. That's where the U.S. still has all its bases. Israel's very aligned with the Iraqi Kurds, and they share a border then with Iran. So there were reports at the time in January that there were men dressed in all black, fully automatic rifles, taking over government buildings, municipal buildings in Western Iran. It was later reported about a month later that some of these Kurds were armed by the Israelis and by the CIA to cross over the border. Effectively, it was an invasion. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to stoke or spark a wider revolution. They were going to kick it off.
While simultaneously crashing the Rial.
Yeah,
which Bassett admitted that we crashed the Rial too. And he did that with George Soros for years. That's how George Soros
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
great point. That is a huge part of what triggered is a big currency collapse and a run on the banks. You're 100% right. And so you had these huge protests going on into the middle of January. And that's when Trump was saying, overthrow the government. And they said that they were in the air, ready to go, ready to bomb Iran, but they just didn't.
This is interesting, you know. What happened here? How is it in a white suit? And then in this other video, which isn't it the same video? Is he
Trump
hoodie?
himself is holding back the personnel. The personnel are more radical than him. So the
Is this a
personnel,
different
for
video?
example, in Homeland Security, they want to do mass deportations. They want a wall. They're furious about what is happening. Trump doesn't want to build a wall anymore. But it's Trump that he doesn't want to do it. He says, we don't need it anymore. Trump is holding them back. So, you know, before we would say we need to unleash Trump so he can be himself and do what he needs to do. Now it's like the personnel is being held back by him. His incompetence, his lack of follow through. In some cases, he's just betraying the core promises of what, you know, we were all about in 2016. So,
Yep, interesting. I think we're going to call it a day for today. I think Trump's going to get impeached as soon as, you know, the Democrats take over the House in November. But who knows? They might not impeach him as a strategy because he's fucked up. He's fucked up so much. Well, why should you impeach him now and then another Republican take over as president and does a better job than what Trump is doing and then gets re-elected? So they might just leave him on. They actually should not impeach him. The strategy should be not to impeach him because whoever comes after Trump is going to be seen as such a winner. Whoever comes after Trump is already a winner because Trump has fucked up so bad that you cannot fuck up anymore. The bar is so low that whoever comes in is going to be seen as a winner. End of story. So why should you impeach Trump now and then whoever comes in, which is going to be a Republican, does better job and then goes for a re-election, they could get elected. But if you keep Trump in now to the end of his tenure, because it's already, what's the worst he can do? If you leave him in now till the end of his tenure, now you can go to the public and point out to all the mistakes the Republicans did, rather than give them a chance to, you know, to like turn it around. You shouldn't do that, you know. You shouldn't give them a chance to revitalize themselves. You should let them drown. They're drowning right now, and you shouldn't save them. If I was the Democratic Party, win the House and do everything as you can to block any of their bills that they want to put through. And then at the end of the 5 years, when they go back to the general public for an election, you point to all the failures of Trump, but you just don't frame it as a Trump failure. You frame it as a Republican failure. So whoever their candidate is already, you know, is running handicapped already. That's my take on it. If the Democrats are smart, that's what they would do. They should not rush hastily to impeach him in November, you know, because that would give J.D. Vance a chance to rebuild his image. As you can see, he's already taken a different stance on Israel. This is him rebuilding his image because he knows come November, Trump is done. Do you know what I mean? So if I was the party, so basically if I was the Democratic Party, I would not rush to impeach Trump in November when they win the House, because everyone knows they're going to take over the House in November. They should be smart. The Democratic Party should not be silly and win the House and then quickly rush to impeach Trump. That's a no-no. That is not planning. That is not having a brain. Because Trump is already fucked up so much. How much more can he fuck up? J.D. Vance is already in transition to to distance himself from Israel, because he's making comments now to show that he's not for this. So imagine if you rush to impeach Trump in November, J.D. Vance takes over office, and basically whoever comes after Trump is a winner. because Trump has set the bar so low. So JD rushes into office, has like, what, 2 years or 3 years to go. He has time to rebuild his image, and the public are going to see it as a victory because Trump is fucked up so much that anybody who just does a little bit, just one thing, is going to be seen as doing so well. And then when the election comes in again, it gives J.D. Vance a chance to, win the general election. So if I was the Democratic Party, I would not be in a rush to impeach Trump right now. The Republicans are swimming in their mess. Do not rescue them by impeaching Trump. That's throwing them a lifeline. Do not do that. Let them use that rope they're tying themselves with to choke themselves to death. That's what I would do. So the Democratic Party need to be strategizing. They need to be strategic about this whole situation come November. Just because you have the power to impeach him in November does not mean it is the wise thing to do. Because whoever comes into office is going to do better, and the public are going to more likely vote for that person during the general election. Do not give J.D. Vance an opportunity to save himself. Go against Israel now and throw out his whatever and then get a re-election. Because they've all been birds of the same feather. They're in this together. They know what they're doing. Well, that comes to the end of the show, guys. We shall end it here.